Alright, hello and welcome to the first game with a new patch. Gonna take a look at the game between Stormjäger and Suora. Suora commanding the Brits, which probably will be the first Brit game I've ever casted. Just thanks to the dubious nature of them before pre-patch. And we're gonna see how they perform now, after. So if you do not know, the Tommy section's got a little bit of a buff, which I have to check up on again. The assault infantry section has now been changed to be a call-in squad with already 5-man upgrades. Also a little bit better stats. Basically, all Tommy sections are better out of cover now. Now it's coming back to me. I was looking it up beforehand, but my brain is lagging out. So basically, the better out of cover, and I think a little bit less good in cover. So then they're a little bit more mobile nowadays. And the assault section seems to be, from what I've heard today, pretty strong. And the defining meta for the time being. OST got a couple nice tweaks as well. Grenadiers are a little bit more expensive to reinforce again, but to make up for it, once you research T4 and build the heavy panzer core, your grenadiers will capture, or I think all your infantry will capture territory at a 20 decapture and capture territory at a 25% increased rate, as well as across the board be cheaper to reinforce. For grenadier, that makes up about 2 manpower per model, as well as all team weapons being cheaper by 10%. And there you see the grease gun wielding Tommies doing a pretty good job against the Pioneers. Lucky for those to only lose 1 model. And the assault sections are getting away. So we have got double Tommy sections, or is it infantry sections, and double assault section as a start for Suora. Coming in with the Lend-Lease assault regiment. And looks like they're already proving their worth. Singling out this 1 grenadier, but the second squad will have to fall back. Stormjäger pushing onto the cutoff of his enemy. Another change is that across the board the target size of medium tanks has been lowered. Pretty much standardized to 20, except for the Shermans, I believe, which are now at 21. Just to keep it a little bit realistic, because Shermans are pretty goddamn huge in real life, thanks to the big engine. And also because they're generally pretty good vehicles. The Cromwell got the biggest buff, since it doesn't have the best of main guns nowadays. And the MG got a little bit of a T-34 treatment, so the Hull MG and actually I think the turret MG in this case got a pretty substantial anti-infantry buff, so that's gonna shrek infantry quite harshly. Ooh. And the MG was set up in a little bit ambitious position, and the Tommies came around at the perfect angle. Nice quick retreat here by Stormjäger. Falls back, and the Tommies actually do not suffer a model here. So if we have by any chance a medical supply upgrade coming in, they could stay on the field without any model losses. But so far he has been prioritizing the Thompson upgrade, which gives them 2 Thompsons and a smoke grenade. So that will help indeed even further with those MGs going forward. So let's see how Stormjäger's up to. He has teched up. We'll see if we're gonna see a Panzer Grenadier. He has not got his leichte mechanized company up yet. So no quick 222. Since he has been bleeding a little bit. Also, it looks like we do not indeed have any healing up yet for Stormjäger. So any engagements going forward are gonna bleed him pretty substantially at this rate. Lucky for them that they have the overwhelming numbers, because that was a red cover engagement. But the Tommies think twice. And so far pretty even in terms of map control. Both players seem to be pretty nippy with their reaction times. soon as they run into each other. So this, we should be in for a good one. Half track coming in, so it looks like we're foregoing the standard tag into P-grants. Oh, that could be a couple model losses here. In fact, that might even be a wipe. Nah, I should be fine. Oh, will they though? That was closer than I expected that to be. So, assault infantry doing a tremendous job here, and in that engagement he only lost one guy, which is pretty huge. Medical supplies can come in now, thanks to the tech up into the platoon command post. But did we actually get a forward assembly? We did. Now that is interesting. I have no idea why. That is pretty pricey if memory serves. I mean, okay, the Brit base is on this map apparently twisted, so if he wanted to grab something he had to go back here, but that's not, shouldn't be a big issue. So I'm a little bit confused by this point as to why. Maybe we'll find the answer later.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
We actually did not go for the... So he didn't use it for healing the half track. He went for the good old flame projectors. It's a tried and tested Brit counter. Just haven't seen it in a while because usually the AC comes out relatively decent quick. But the timing has been good by stormjäger. So he's gonna get some value out of it and keeps his side of the map. Most importantly, the fuel. But these Brits just don't suffer many casualties today. 222 is coming up to hopefully deal with AEC, but that's gonna need some quick micro. So if anybody has any idea why a forward assembly might be good here, except for getting reinforcements closer to the cutoff, which doesn't seem worth the price to me, please do enlighten me. And it's not a commander where he could get any fancy abilities on his forward assembly. So stormjäger pushing the right, but the Tommies are holding pretty sternly. The mechanized push is moving in. So far it's doing a tremendous job. Finally the models are starting to drop, and he could be greedy here, go for the wipe. The AC is coming in, but that should be a dead Tommy. And the 222 might be able to come in from behind, get some nice good shots in. So nice wipe here by stormjäger. Oh, but he keeps driving away from his 222 and his AT counters. And there we go, half track goes down, but he did get a wipe out of it. Pretty expensive wipe, but a wipe nonetheless. And the 222 bullies some Tommies in the east. Ooh, very nice mine. And in fact, the grease guns together with the Thompsons might actually bring that thing down rather quickly. He's gonna jump into the building. Oh, actually goes for the grenade there. Beautifully done. 222 goes down to the assault infantry section. And the little Mills bombs. And that's a counter kill. So the mechanized aspect of stormjäger's army is off the field, but he has gained a territorial advantage of it. The question is, can he hold it now with them being off the field? And hang on, is that new air landing officer? Hello, the assault officer. Is that non-doctrinal, or does it come with his commander?
Officer and gentleman ready to go.
Officer and gentleman ready to go. I don't think that came out of the forward assembly, so I don't think that was the reason you built it. It could make sense if he builds a mortar pit here, so he doesn't have to garrison it for the bonus, but it's like a long shot. So I still have no idea why that thing's there. But yeah, the airland assault officer is pretty terrifying. He's been very good, especially at veterancy. And I actually haven't seen him perform with BARs yet. And I've only seen him in Tightrope's patch analysis video, and that was, I think, 1 or 2 instances before release version, so he did get nerfed before the release version. But we're gonna see how good he is regardless. Royal Engineers duking it out with some Pioneers, but the Pioneers do have the better argument in their hands. Finally, some P-Grants added to the mix. Meanwhile, by the way, mobile defense chosen. Looks like the mobile defense meta might be having a comeback here. I've been watching some streams today, and that has been a pretty popular commander, thanks to the armored car. Good old Puma. Command tank's pretty solid, as long as you don't throw it. I'm gonna see, but I think you actually have to build this Puma now instead of calling it in, or at least you need the company. Okay, no, yeah, you have to build it from your headquarters building, but it requires 5 CP, so he's still a little bit away from it.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
It looks like it's another update where I have to change my settings because it's being a little bit patchy in times. First engagement for our little assault officer running into MG. Never feels good. AC looks like he needs some bandages back at home. So stormjäger still more than fine being in the game here.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
I'm actually curious if the air, I don't know, like it doesn't have commando models, so I don't think this airlining of the new version of the airlining officer can cloak.
Extra firepower is now available for units.
I do have to update my
Enemy threatening
script mod here for the veterancy modifiers. And yeah, Saber in chat is correct. These new guys have a nice little new icon.
Supplies looking a bit.
Oh, it actually says SMG. I thought it was like some kind of scribbling, but it actually looks like it's like some kind of graffiti on a building spelling SMG. I just realized that it spells that. I just thought it was like some sort of insignia. But Stormjäger, nice with the constant cutoff pressure here. Keeps that thing in the game. Or himself in the game. And the resources for suora dwindling. But suora always gets those angles on the MG. But Stormjäger always quick on the redeploy. So nicely done by both of them. We only have 1 medical supply Tommy now left, thanks to wipe earlier. There we go, AC's back in the game.
New machine gun crew ready and waiting.
Our little Gren blob is awaiting the onslaught of the British. Curious retreat there, actually. Looks like maybe he wants to bait. I'm sure he could have just fallen back, but maybe he just wants to get that healed up. The bunker has come up. Support armor core is in the build. Pretty bunched up here, so it's rare, but the AC could actually land a pretty good shot there. Vicker is now added to the mix.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
And a little bit of a dance going on in the south, trying to catch each other out. Okay, here comes the grenade. Let's see if he's quick enough. Indeed he is. Doesn't take any damage. Nicely done. These guys really need a med kit. They're gonna start pumping. Like, if you're in this situation, at least send the officer in first and then the SMG boys in second. Otherwise they'll take too much damage. P-Gran's actually getting a really nice volley here. On the street, negative cover. Snipe another SMG model. And Stormjäger is doing a real nice job here, dancing around, keeping the long range up. Denying that close quarter advantage. But his success is mostly due to lack of healing on suora's part. So he has to go home and healing. So Okay, he can get the medical station. I guess that is why he's building that forward assembly. But if that's the only thing he wanted out of that thing, it was first very early. That thing's pretty expensive. And second, I don't know if that's worth it. But we shall see. So basically, you now have access to these medics here, which I apparently can't. Oh no, okay. So they do work like similar to OST medics in an OST bunker. By healing automatic around the forward assembly. So it's a get and forget kind of thing. You do have a new squad on the glider, but I think it requires some sort of micro. And it's a little bit buggy in its inception. Where you activate it and then it anchors down to the ground and then tries to heal stuff in the vicinity. But I still have yet to see that in action. And this time, stormjäger's on the receiving end of the low health stick. But looks like his spider senses are tingling, so suora gets out of there double quick. Because that's half the German army on their retreat path. Actually having incendiary ammunition popped. Oh, and actually that is a white phosphorus grenade that they get. Now that's interesting. So that's pretty good against garrison, especially MGs. Does some damage while denying visibility. But, okay, these assault Tommies are getting some work done despite the overwhelming odds. Bird AT can actually try to get in there. But they do have to Scalper eventually. Oh, nice tellers. Actually is spotted here by the Royal Engineers, but looks like they have capping orders. Oh, he hasn't realized why they're running away from the spot. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no! It is nicely laid behind this little log here, so he might not have seen it. If stormjäger is really lucky. So we'll have to see, but the southern half of the map does now belong to suora. And if my camera operates, I actually can see the rest of the battle. So get some decent damage here done here. Only one model dropped though. Before he has to get out with his MG. I wasn't quite quick enough on the micro there. Didn't pin the pioneers down. Could have done way more damage. Nice sandbag here on this cutoff, awaiting the flank with the Panzer Grenadiers. And actually gets a really nice grenade off. suora moving forward though. But still, he's losing the model. And the Grenadiers. Looks like they were aiming at the Royal Engineers. And yet again, the cutoff is taken by stormjäger. Nicely done. Okay, no cheeky retreat grenade and no refocus on the quick. So he's gonna have to get out of there. Looks like he's trying to avoid the retreat path through the assault section. And he's semi doing it. Oh, can they get away? Engineers are on the job as well.
There's a rather splendid Cromwell ready to go.
And now indeed a rather splendid Cromwell on the job. I hope for him that he's seen this Telemite now. Because that really could issues to the Cromwell. So I'm really curious how good that MG of the Cromwell is now. Because Axis infantry has been suffering a little bit in the last 5 minutes, even though stormjäger did pull off some fancy footwork. But the additional pressure of the Cromwell should decide that in his advantage for the time being. And ooh, that's some pretty good stuff right there off the bat. 2 kills immediately. Double Panzergrens, by the way. Oh, beautiful grenade there by the infantry section. Assault section, pardon me. So the P-Grants here probably going down if the retarget was in. It was not, but the Brombear is actually... Oh, that was a nice shot. That is really lucky for stormjäger and pretty unlucky for suora. So really nice shot by the Brombear. Annihilates the assault section. Most likely microed with a little ground attack. And gets the better of them. And thus the lines are divided again. Giving me a time for some tea, which I highly appreciate. No, 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 don't take an engagement.
We're losing a capture point.
I need to get rid of the tea bags and everything. Ah! Children, what are you doing? There we go. I'm getting a bit better angle so you can do my job without me. Ooh, very nice. Gets the tread shot with the AC, slowing down the Brombeer. And now gets behind the single AT gun. He's trying to avoid the Faust. And does so. Nicely done. Okay, so T, please. So, good job there by both of our players. Come on. There you go. Okay, looks like the Telemine blew up, in fact, at some point. Most likely shoot by the AC, either shooting it directly or hitting something on retreat. I don't see a corpse there, though. Got some engagement in the south. Yeah, just a new and improved Cromwell baby. Dealing with some infantry. Alright. A spoon of sugar, and then we're back to business. There we go. It's the fuel I'm running on. Peppermint and chamomile tea. It is heaven. MG is setting up. And gets a pretty good burst of suppression in. So, ooh, the vet 3. Gonna eat a rifle nade. Nicely done there. Flamethrower, I was about to say, doesn't get anything, but in fact roasts two people. So lucky there for not to lose the second assault section. So sort of floating a little bit. Looks like he's probably gonna go for another tank here. A second Cromwell wouldn't really not be bad. Then he could swarm the AT gun and get rid of the Brombeer if he's done doing that in a timely manner. But yet again, stormjäger on the cutoff. I'd really like to see some mines around this place by now from Suora. It's just been attacked so often. And we have a little back tag here from stormjäger to grab himself some Stuks to contest the medium vehicle play. Nice choice indeed. There we go. Cromwell is trying to bully some team weapons in the south, but looks like he's just out of MG range. But, ooh, it didn't matter. That was a beautiful shot. And the Packard actually misses. But luckily, Cromwell misses its follow-up shot. Meanwhile, ooh, nice pickup here. Gets the Vickers in the north. Before the second Cromwell comes and ruins his day. Ah, that was the first sip. And goddamn does it feel good. Looks like we have smoke coming down. Yeah, there was some smoke from our friend the Brombeer. Panzer Tactician smoke. It just looked way bigger than it usually does. But, oh, nice. The AC gets on the rear armor, but the Stuks in position. Very unlucky timing. Couldn't get that done quick enough. But the Stuks not efficiently handled at the moment. And my camera is also not efficiently handled. There we go. The AC is still around, so the Brombeer might go down. That's a very expensive vehicle. Definitely worth an AC, but nice shot against the Cromwell. Will we see a ground attack here? We do, and it's successful, but... oh my god, that thing got wrecked. But then the sudden Panzerfaust pack and Stuk combination just wrecked that Cromwell. And in fact, it's abandoned. Now, if we see some fancy footwork here from this Cromwell, it hasn't been damaged yet. We do have enough munitions for a double Faust. And here it comes. So he really needs to get rid of that pack gun. Oh, but main gun destroyed for the Stuk. Here comes the Panzer Tactician. Where's the attack round? Gets it. Pack misses. But we haven't seen the retarget here by the assault infantry section on the pack. Cromwell's still in play though. And there we go, there's the D-crew, there's a Grenadier. In fact, there's an MG42. I don't know if these guys actually have a weapon slot after the Thompson upgrade. I do not believe so. He's trying to finish it off with a Faust. But he went too greedy and too deep. Meanwhile, I think that, yep, the Cromwell did go down eventually. Really nicely done there. He tries to punish him, the move in with a bundle nade, but fails. Ooh, this is gonna be tight. Here comes the counter nade. One man nearly grenades himself on the retreat. Ah, and gets wiped on the retreat. So, who got off better here? I would say stormjäger for the time being. Looks like suora lost to another squad of infantry, lost to... Well, then again. Well, if suora can get his Cromwell out, he might be in a better position. I would assume that this Puma is gonna go deep into enemy lines and hunt that to the end of the earth. And indeed, that seems to be exactly what we're gonna see. So the question is, can he be quick enough? And can he find a way? The engineers are trying to head it off. Trying to get that engine damage in. Oh, he does have access to the vehicle crew repairs. I forgot my hotkey to get rid of all of this. There you go, let's just get rid of this. And he hasn't been using it. Maybe he doesn't have the munitions. I'm gonna have to check in a second. Misses. No, that actually was the smoke, and a nice ground attack finishes it off. Well played by stormjäger. Gets it. Easy cruise, easy drive-by. Back on the cutoff. Excellent place there. Grand Theft Puma is a thing in this game.
We're losing a capture point.
Ah.
Machine gun crew ready and waiting.
Not quite the right analogy, but I think it works for now. You get the point. Very nicely done. So stormjäger definitely in the driver's seat now.
Line's been cut.
Third Cromwell
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
is in the build. And yeah, I know that it stays when the turn of the game hot.
Point is being overrun.
I need to make a scene for it. I do apologize. I haven't gotten around to do that yet. And I need to like link it to the same button to get rid of the screen blocker. Or it has to be the same button combination to change the scene. Which I will do eventually.
Splendid Cromwell ready to go.
I just keep forgetting that I need to do it. Okay, so we've got 2 MGs now added to the mix. It's gonna struggle getting back on the map with that. But the Cromwell does have a little window where it might do something, especially if it can catch the Puma out, which is now back in base to repair. And apparently suora was floating manpower quite substantially, and he really should replace his infantry. The longer he waits, the worse it gets. At the moment, we still have only like a little bit of veterancy on these Axis infantry, but the gap will widen and will just make it worse trying to get them back on the field. The Puma actually with some really nice shots here. Rarely you see that thing that accurate. Then again, I haven't touched an OST Puma in quite a while. I don't know my stats where it differs from the OKW one, but that was some pretty good footwork from that beauty. Officer forcing off some grenadiers in the south. Still have the heroic charge ability, light gammon bomb, and recon sweep. So good stuff there. Pigren's doing God's work, mowing down some British. And some fancy cruising around the MG, nice job. Goes around that bridge that probably half of you don't even know is part of this map. Gets a very nice flank, and there we have it. It's a new squad. Thompson's just came in. And oh boy, even despite the veterancy 2 here, I'm getting some really, really nice damage in against the Panzer Grenadiers. So it seems to me that these boys are still a little bit overtuned. There we go. Lucky catch on the road. Does force them to retreat.
To take a point from us.
Then again, how expensive are they? 280. So that's actually not that expensive. If we check, the counterpart that just got murdered, I think, is 300.
Threatening a capture point.
And Jesus, the Vicar is actually shooting wider than my screen can look. There we go. 340, in fact. We have a 33 reinforced cost versus... Ah, damn it. Missed it. I think Panzer Grenadiers are only 30, but I have to check again. Then again, we also do have our heavy Panzer Corps up, which, okay, doesn't display me anything yet, thanks to the script mod. But it makes a reinforced cost a little bit cheaper for these infantry squads. I think it's not only grenadiers. I might be wrong about that. But the trouble with CoH2, if I alt-tab, it freezes the game. So I do have it open on my other screen, but I don't have access to it as we speak.
Standing by. We're losing a capture point.
Oh, here comes a nice grenade, but unfortunately the model died. So didn't get the bundle nade off, but here it comes. Whoop. Lucky for the one model was out of the blast radius, but oh, wipes another P-Grand on the right side. The good old-fashioned Brit blob is back with a vengeance. Puma's going in deep. Did that get nabbed by something else as well? It looked like 2 shots, but it was only just 1. Nice rifle grenade. Finishes off the Vickers.
An HMG crew has been lost to enemy action.
And indeed that has.
Loaded and fueled up.
So Suora still trading over here. But a Panzer Grenadier is definitely worth a little bit more. I still would like to really see some mines over here. Looks like most of his munitions has been spent by now for upgrades, which is understandable, but just give me a mine, please, please. Give me a mine there, make it a little bit, at least make him pay for it. Grabbing your cutoff all the time. Puma's back in action, now Panther and a build and a sniper. Very 30-minute sniper. That's something I haven't seen in quite a while, but I'm excited for it. And considering the manpower bleed, it's a pretty good choice. Always been good against the Brits. And as I can only think they will perform well going forward as well. Okay, loses 1 model on the officer. Nothing too hard.
The Scharfschütze has arrived.
And the Scharfschütze has arrived indeed. And I do believe... What the hell is that thing? Firefly? Oh no, it's an M10 Achilles destroyer. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Little tank destroyer. Pretty nippy. It's a bit slow in the acceleration deceleration, but it has high top speed, if memory serves. And it's okay against Panthers. I think the reload is pretty harsh. So let's see how that works out. And what was that MG? Oh, that was the Hull MG from Panther. I thought for a second there was a second one there. But really liking the choice of the sniper. Already up to 1 kill. 1 amazing shot. He's going home. He got his medal. The war is over, boys. OST has won. Yet again on the cutoff. Really nice job there. I still want to see mines there. It's actually making me angry at this point. Always these poor Vickers getting mobbed by rifle nades. And they say Oster is weak. So Achilles doing its best, doing nothing, just watching over the battlefield, trying to find something to kill. Engineers finding out about the Panther the hard way. Speaking of engineers, he needs a second one, because he's gonna be in trouble. Oh no, he's moving up his pack all alone. Cromwell gets a pretty nice shot in there, but unlucky the splash. The splash was not enough. There we go. Got some classic lazy micro over here. Just put the MG in the building. But no, at this stage of the game, perfectly reasonable. Keep that VP train on. 443 to 90. So stormjäger has been in the driving seat. Let's see if Suora can come back. Poor assault officer hasn't done much. Only 3 kills to his name. Looks like he's dropping pretty fast. Nice grenade, but should be okay. Nice quick reaction times there. Heads out.
Enemy causing
Easy peasy.
Trying to take one of our points.
What do we got here? Just some pioneers guarding the bottom.
We've 75 points left.
Stormjäger with a massive float. still has a little bit pop cap to play. But some of that is due to models dropping. So we could squeeze something in there. How much is the Panzer IV these days? It's 12 CP, that's not bad. Wouldn't hate seeing that. Should help against these assault infantry sections just a little bit. To drag it out a little bit longer, keep them on the field. But Suora is all of a sudden being very, very passive here. Looks like he's very, very scared since he saw the Panther. That's a recon flight from my boy, the assault officer. It's pretty slow. Looks like they actually increased the speed, thankfully, because that was ridiculously good for 50 minutes, 50 munitions. Previously it flew very, very slow over the map, revealing snipers as well.
50 points left.
So it's a little bit speedier now, but still seems to be pretty strong. So Vickers on north, let's see if that gets microed. Nice rifle grenade over the hedge. Nope, no micro there. Oh, but looks like he might have either jumped over it or he built a sandbag in his face and then was stuck. Or he just plain old forgot because he was microing up top. But there we go, the retarget came in. Assault infantry section gets murdered by the grenadiers and the sniper. Oh, it seems to be getting out. 37 VPs left. He's got the bottom one, but he lost the top one. And there we go. Throws in the towel. GG. Well played. No, that was pretty good. Stormjäger in chat before the game has ended. Rude boy. If you're being casted, you wait until you're done. Don't kill the suspension. Shame on you. But well played. The trading engagement with the Brombear was pretty solid. Nicely done. But it's a fairly open map, so I'm curious to see how those British assault sections work on a more constricted map with less open fields, where you get less. I can't believe the float I get with mobile defense. Yeah, that was a pretty big one. 113 to 90, so kill was a fairly even game, but Suora really wasn't paying attention to his VPs. So army value, pretty solid, pretty similar. Nice stuff. Resource float. Yeah, that was the Brombear. And then he had these dips. So no, I can't actually remember what this was. Like one of them is Sniper and Panther, so that should be the big dip. That must be one of these must be the Stug. Lost one of each base kind, none of the others. Panther didn't really get much to do. Poor Brombear didn't get much to do. Half-Track got a wipe and killed. Puma did surprisingly well, especially driving on the move. Let's see what's up for Suora. Royal Engineers wasn't too bad. He lost the assault infantry section wipes were pretty brutal for him, and the early infantry section wipe that he couldn't really afford that. He lacked so much munitions in the beginning. But yeah, GG, well played. Let's see what's coming up going forward.